5th, but boy, he's been out of this race for a long time. That's going to hurt. Mark Martin in 6th.
That 140-point difference between 1st and 2nd. Earnhardt could pretty much sit on a race and have it, as opposed to last year when he was in 2nd in the points coming into this battle. Earnhardt has really been strong, and it's been the fact that he's been consistent all year.
Oh, yes.
Look at these Winston Cup winners. And Allison, remember back on Memorial Day, wins at Charlotte, then that controversial race, and Ricky Rudd getting set down at Sears Point. And then we saw him on CBS win here at Michigan. Earnhardt's won just 2, but he is so consistent week after week. Mike?
Talk about a couple of bloodied contenders. Here is the other half of the rookie battle. Bobby Hamilton's car. He was all caught up in that incident, and they are completely rebuilding the front end of the car. Lower control arm here, putting a new ball joint in it, trying to get that up and under what is left. Fortunately, the mounting points where all these suspension components hook into the frame were not damaged in the crash. So it may be 20 laps or so, but as Musgrave continues to have problems, Bobby Hamilton's crew is trying to get him back out there and post another top rookie finish.
Thanks, Mike. Well, that's a bad break for Bobby Hamilton, who had a lot of time in grade out here yesterday. He worked every moment that he could on the track to get a feel for this thing. All right, field is getting organized, getting set, and they're at least a lap away from turning them loose.
Caution again, Ken. This time around, each time they've been given the signal for one more lap, but that particular time they were not given that signal. In fact, the pace car, the lights are still on the pace car.
Well, this morning, an unusual circumstance in the drivers' meeting. Ernie Irvan, who has been the center of controversy through much of the season, got up and offered an apology, a personal apology to every driver in the meeting. This is what he said.
I've talked to a few of the drivers this week and some of the car owners, and you know, I've lost a lot of respect. I've lost the respect of a lot of drivers and a lot of car owners in this garage area, and that hurts. I've drove a little bit over aggressive some. I'm going to work on trying to be a little more patient and want to earn everybody's respect back. I like to be liked in the garage area, and appreciate maybe if you guys give me a shot at it. And I definitely want to be everybody's friend in here.
Hey, how tough was it for you to make those remarks?
Well, it was tough, Chris, you know, but this is like a big family in this garage area, and I want to be part of it, and I've always been part of it. And, you know, we've been in the center of controversy, and we don't mind being in the center of controversy on winning races, but some of them's been in some wrecks. So, you know, we wanted to apologize to a lot of the people that suffered from it, the car owners, drivers, and, you know, try to mend a lot of friends, and, you know, hopefully be able to go out there and race with them nice and hard and clean, and, you know, get their respect.
What are the last few months have you been like for you?
Well, you know, it hasn't been...
Excuse me, here's the accident a little bit earlier, Ernie. Can you tell us what happened?
Well, I got bumped from behind, and, you know, then the car just took off, and then it looks like the 68 car, you know, run into me, and then the 8 car, and, you know, I was kind of the pinball in a pinball machine.
Well, then there's no controversy about this accident. But what about Ernie Irvan's walking around the racetracks the last month or two?
Well, the last month or two hadn't been too bad. This week hadn't been too good. You know, we finished, since Talladega here, we've run in the top 7 every race and hadn't really even had to paint the cars after. So, you know, we've kept our nose real clean and really, you know, did some good racing. And we got in a mix-up up there at Pocono. And the worst thing is when we get in a tangle up with a car, it's never just a one-car deal. You know, we're running towards the front all the time. And, you know, I just got to pick who I can race that hard with and who I can't race that hard with. And, you know, Dale and myself, we run into each other quite a bit, and you know, we keep on getting it. So, you know, just got to be a little more patient. We have a fast race car and a good race team, and, you know, awful thankful to Kodak, Del Carimi, and Chevrolet for everything they do for us. And, you know, we want to be here a long time to come, and, you know, we're still shooting for the championship this year.
Has the press been fair with you?
Well, you know, I don't know. You know, I haven't read anything they wrote, and, you know, I just try to give them my opinion. And, you know, right now we're trying to be awful humble and, you know, just be good people in this garage area. You know, we need to be good to these people, and they can be good to us. And
what does your car owner say about all your problems?
Well, you know, he likes the way I drive, but he doesn't like being involved in wrecks. But I drive aggressive and I drive hard, and you know, Dale Earnhardt was condemned for a long time for that, but now people praise him for it. So, you know, just because he gets away that we can't, we just got to race good and race hard and stay out of trouble.
Stay out of trouble. Thanks for coming by. Back to you, Ken.
Well, Ken, it was a class act for him to get up in front of all the drivers there this morning, and I congratulate him for that. The green flag waves again here at Talladega.
We have 125 laps completed, the 188 to be run. And as they scoot down into turn number 1, Chad Little from the Northwest is out in front. He qualified 10th at Daytona back to the Pepsi 400. Then the car fell back. He ended up in 29th. He's trying to do that dark horse thing that is so synonymous with this racetrack. Remember those first years, 13 races, 13 different faces in victory lane? Well, here's Chad Little trying to bring that tradition back big time here. And Earnhardt came along, won 3 races. Waltrip won a couple. But other than that, it's all been single victories as we come to the 23rd annual Die Hard 500. And from Spokane, Chad Little just finished studying for the bar, comes down to the line and drops to the inside. That's not the kind of bar most of these guys in stock car racing relate to. Here he is.
Well, those first 3 cars until Chad Little gets past, neither of them have ever won a race. Michael Waltrip, Sterling Marlin, or Chad Little. Now Chad falling back a little bit as Michael Waltrip has taken the lead.
Falling back big time, all the way to 5th. Got caught on the inside and swept up by Michael Waltrip. Here comes Sterling Marlin. He's going for the lead. Ricky Rudd is right there. Davey Allison with him. You remember what happened between those two at Sears Point, California. Back in June, they played tag right on the finish line. Davey Allison was given the win. Ricky Rudd still stung by that one. Rusty Wallace is becoming more of a factor every moment out here in the number 2 car. Rolls right up in there into 6.
There's so many cars that are running still, 18 cars in the lead lap, and I guess either one of them has a chance and the potential to win this race.
Here comes Rudd making a challenge now. The Hendrick car down to the inside, trying to stumble up through there. Now tucks right back in and stays there.
Boy, you see how tightly they bunch, get in single file. That's the way to draft. Little crack in the windshield there on the right side, which that's in Davey Allison's car. That won't bother him any, though.
Boy, those windshields have taken some abuse out here.
Well, they do. There's a tremendous amount of pressure on the windshields, and also when you go into the high banks here at Talladega, it puts a pretty good strain on the body of the car, and sometimes it might flex a little bit, and those windshields bolted pretty tightly in there. It'll cause them to crack.
18 cars remain in the lead lap. Davey Allison drops to the bottom. He's taking a shot in the slingshot out of turn number 2. Davey Allison trying to fire it through. He pulls up alongside number 22, Sterling Marlin. This is for the lead. Live coverage on CBS of the Die Hard 500, and it's Davey Allison sweeping out in front in car number 28 as he goes for his 4th win since May. Ooh, tight running as you look out the back of Allison's car. Mark Martin right there on the bottom for 2nd, and the quick line is now the bottom of the racetrack.
If your car will stick down there, that's certainly the short way around, and the heat hasn't really. There hasn't been as much heat in the asphalt here with the sun not shining down on it. So as a result, the bottom groove is still a very good place to run.
In this Die Hard 500, Davey Allison's best finish was 2nd back in 1987 to Bill Elliott. Pretty good view of the race. 2-car length advantage, and that is just about the biggest advantage anyone has had since Dale Earnhardt was out in front. Earnhardt led by about 4 car lengths for half a lap back in the early going. And look at this scrimmage.
Well, Earnhardt just went right up through the middle of Bill Elliott, and Sterling Marlin moved into 3rd place. Side by side racing for the lead. Let's see where Earnhardt's going to go here. Will he try that little opening? Yeah, he had a notion to, but he said no, he closed up too quick on it.
Now he goes to the outside. Look at that move by Dale Earnhardt, the old Richard Petty line, right up against the wall in the tri-oval, and it's enough to carry him through into turn number 1 and put the Chevy out in front of 3 Fords side by side.
That is impressive, folks. I'll tell you, when he could just drive up there without the help of somebody else's draft and drive by him on the outside. Of course, those 3 Fords running 3 abreast back there helped his cause a little bit, but they weren't running that way when Earnhardt moved around them.
Now, in the tail end of this lead lap, Baker is running 13th. 14th at the present time is Waltrip. 15th is Morgan Shepherd. Going 16th is Rick Mast. 17th in that lead lap is Dale Jarrett, and completing the lead lap is Joe Ruttman. And all of those 18 cars are in this gathering fighting for the lead.
Well, I'll tell you, this is exciting racing. I love it. But it is conducive to things happening when they're running that fast, that close together. Folks, they are running now over 195 miles an hour on these straightaways, and still over 190 when they reach the turns. They don't slow down much in the turns.
Average is about 192.6 for that last lap or two. Earnhardt right there in front. Now here on the outside is Sterling Marlin, trying to get around the number 6 of Mark Martin, and no place to go.
You see the car number 7 of Alan Kulwicki. He's still in there. Unfortunately, he's still a lap down, being shown in 19th position. He just can't get up there. He runs with the leaders, no problem, but he just can't get up there and get back in the lead lap.
And look at that number 3 car of Earnhardt scoot away as he comes through that 18-degree tri-oval. Get a time on him right here. Give you some indication of the speed being turned by Dale Earnhardt as he fights it out with Mark Martin dropping to the inside to challenge. This at lap 135. Martin going back for first place. Bill Elliott moves up in car number 9. They're going to be 3 wide in turn 3.
Wow. And here's Kulwicki, Sterling Marlin up on the outside. Martin caught in the middle.
They pin Mark Martin to the mat.
Here comes Hut Strickland down on the inside. You see back there 3 rows deep. Hut Strickland trying to make it 3 wide, and he does as they come through the tri-oval here. Or is it 4 wide? There's Michael Waltrip up on the top.
It's 5 wide, back 3 rows.
Folks, this can't keep going. Something will have to happen if they keep that up.
192 mile an hour. The last lap 191.9, and they're running inches apart. 18 cars battling to the side. The 23rd annual Die Hard 500. For the moment, it's Earnhardt.
Davey Allison went from 1st to 13th in just 2 laps.
Sterling Marlin second, then the lap car. Alan Kulwicki, number 7, is trying with that Ford to get that lap back. Here comes Ricky Rudd, the number 5 car, in that 3rd position on the high side.
He sees that Alan Kulwicki is very fast. He wants to go with him up there on the outside, but Earnhardt closes the door on him.
Well, Earnhardt can't hold him off here if they can find any room. Neil Bonnet.
Yeah, Ken, I'm down here. I've talked to a lot of these crew chiefs and these guys working these cars. Very little work went on with the chassis on the last stops. One reason you're seeing the racing it is the guys have got the cars the way they want them. They had the luxury of several stops to tune them in, get the chassis the way they want it. They feel pretty good to them, and they're just going to race now, and they're doing a lot of that.
Neil Bonnet, when you won this race back in 1980, you won it against Earnhardt and Cale. They were right there with you, right to the line, and Benny Parsons was in that group. It was a 4 or 5 car sort out. Where do you think you want to be if you have intentions of taking the checkers? Up on the point or in that 2nd spot today?
Again, back in those days, we had the big horsepower, the turn-loose power on them, and it was beneficial to be in 2nd place or somewhere where you could jump out of the draft. Right now, the point is the place to be. We just, as you mentioned, we saw Davey go from the lead to 13th place in a couple of laps. It's like a big chess game. You either look like a hero or the biggest dummy in town. It's just too much happening at one time.
No, that's a good point. Bernie Irvin has just gone back out on the track. The field is going to come up on him very shortly. Watch the front of the field. We'll see Ernie Irvin's battered cars. Dale Earnhardt will go around him. There he is. They're coming up right behind him. But you can see a lot of sheet metal gone from his car. He won't be a factor, but wants to get out there and run as many laps as he can, pick up as many points as he can.
The Talladega freight train runs over him. Ernie Irvin back in 35th position. It's got to hurt when you want to be up there with that group and you're that far back.
Yeah, it does hurt. But he got out of the way and let him go.
Leaders completed 136. Irvin's completed 105. The record of the Hespers comes by.
That kind of aerodynamics won't get it in this kind of racing, folks. It might do it on a Saturday night quarter of a mile or a half a mile dirt, but not here at Talladega.
Now look at Kulwicki and car number 7. Alan Kulwicki is trying desperately to get that lap back. He senses, as you sense, Ned, they can't run this tight, this close together without something going awry, and he wants to be in a place to make up that lap and take a shot at winning it all.
There's Davey Allison trying to work his way back up. He had dropped down to 13th, but he's on his way back towards the front.
And this perspective tells you how much they move, how much they wiggle, how much they have to fight for control every inch of the way at 190 miles an hour plus to win the Die Hard 500. Stay with us for the exciting conclusion. Die Hard 500 race summary is sponsored by Quaker State. The big Q is one tough motor oil. Here in the Die Hard 500, 18 cars continuing to run in the lead lap. The average speed is only 152 miles per hour. But don't believe it. The average per lap is about 192. We've had some cautions out here today that have slowed this field down. 4 for a total of 25. 7 cars have retired from it. 11 different runners of the 41 that started the race have had a chance to be out in front. And for the moment, the leader is the 3-time winner of this event. 1983, 84, and 1990. Dale Earnhardt has been the Die Hard 500 champion. And for the moment, he has a 1-car length advantage over the hottest driver on the circuit through the month of June, Davey Allison. Bill Elliott is into 3rd. Mark Martin is in 4th. Michael Waltrip hangs on in that 5th position. In the 6th position is Hut Strickland. Rusty Wallace 7th. Chad Little having a dandy day is in 8th. Bobby Hillin in 9th, and Buddy Baker is in 10th position. Coming back out onto the track as the front of the field, those 18 cars battling for the lead roll by is Stan Smith. There's your leader. It's Earnhardt, and it's Allison. Remember, this is exactly how they finished a year ago. Earnhardt, Allison. Here's Mike Joy.
Steve Hamill, your driver, Mark Martin, got squeezed from 2nd back to about 10th, like toothpaste coming out of a tube. Now he's climbing his way back up. Can you believe the kind of racing we're seeing today?
You ought to be listening to Mark on the radio. He's raising Kane. He'd a whole lot rather the real quick cars line up, and you wouldn't have to outrun but 4 or 5 guys. You get to mess and run around side by side, you got to race 25 people, and you have accidents, and you get aggravated. But we got a long way to go. We're going to find him a hole here in a minute. He's going to drive it back up front.
Well, what happened to the buddy system along pit road? Can you find him somebody to hook up with?
Well, every time we get with somebody wants to lead. You know, if they'd all just get together and feel like they were sure about what they wanted to do, but everybody needs to lead. There's a lot of pressure to run good, so just when you think you got it worked out where you want, somebody pops on the inside or the outside, so I don't believe there's a whole lot of buddy system left.
Not much out there. Let's get out of Neil Bonnet.
Mike Joy, on the same train of thought, I was down there in Davey Allison's pit. When he got bumped from 1st back to 13th, he called him on the radio. They said, "Are you having a problem?" He said, "I just don't like where I'm at." And he didn't mean Talladega. Luckily enough, he's got a good enough race car. He's working his way back to the front. He's getting the same chatter on these radios as Mark's giving. They're not giving each other a lot of room out there.
Neil, one of the things we should mention is that Waltrip has backed up. He is running on the tail end of the lead lap, and car number 17 has fallen away from that pack that's running for the lead. And look at the windshield on Waltrip's car.
Yeah, you can see that it's in pretty foul shape. You can't see very good. There's a little bit of a crack, but that, I don't know, there's something all over that windshield, and he's totally out of the draft. You can see for a long way in front of him, there's nothing but racetrack up there, so he has lost the draft of the front runners.
So that means 17 cars continue to run up there together, trying to decide this skirmish. As you see, Darrell Waltrip, now there are the leaders, with number 3 Earnhardt first, and there's the 28 of Allison, and the lap car of Kulwicki. The 3rd place car is number 9 Bill Elliott, followed by Michael Waltrip, and number 30 in 4th, and in 5th it's Ricky Rudd with Rusty Wallace in the black number 2 and 6, and there's Ernie Irvan many laps down, being shown 34th on the field. And remember, we've only had 7 retirees after all the incidents, all this action.
There's a lot of crippled race cars still out there running around.
Let's go back to Chris Economaki.
I've been watching Richard Petty out here today. He's not among the leaders, but today Richard Petty is starting his 1,144th race. There he is. That's 450 races more than the next busiest driver on the circuit, Buddy Baker. Petty has not won a race since July 4th, 1984, but he's still out there trying every time there's a Winston Cup race.
Right now he's running in 21st position. lap down from those leaders, but still out there trying.
Oh yes, he's running very well. He has caught Darrell Waltrip. Now he and a pack of cars have caught Waltrip, so Waltrip will have somebody to draft him.
And look at Allison on the outside. Let me correct one thing as we watch Allison running that Ford up for the lead. A year ago when Earnhardt won it, it was Elliott in second, Marlin was in third, and Alan Kulwicki came up with a good strong fourth. Davey Allison had second here a couple of years back in this very same race. Right now he's trying to hone in on a victory with 147 of 188 laps complete. In 87 is when Davey had that runner-up position out here. Back to second. Coming into the tri-oval to complete 148 laps, Davey Allison on the charge. We'll return with more live coverage of the Die Hard 500 from the Talladega Superspeedway after this message and a word from your local station.
Sports Special, the Die Hard 500, is sponsored by Valvoline. People who know use Valvoline. Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade, for that deep down body thirst.
As the field completed the 150th lap in the Die Hard 500, two cars scraped the outside wall going into turn number 1, and there they rest midway between 1 and 2. Hut Strickland's number 12, Jeff Bodine's number 11 that brought out the 5th caution of the day. With Ned Jarrett, look again at what happened here.
Well, Hut Strickland was down on the inside, and he just got up into Jeff Bodine and pinned him against the wall, and both of them stayed right up there against the wall. Hut came off for a little bit and then slammed back into it, but still stayed up there. The other cars dived down to the inside, and Bodine stayed right up there with him. He couldn't get off of the wall, and they just went right on into turn 1. Bumper to bumper into that turn, but both of those cars apparently out of it now.
It's going to be a little tricky getting him down off that 33-degree bank. From another angle.
Well, they'd just gone across the start-finish line when they got together. Hut apparently didn't see Jeff Bodine on the outside, and he hooked Bodine right rear of Strickland's car on the left front of the Ford of Bodine, and put both of them right into the wall.
Morgan Shepherd, the lucky individual there down on the bottom, able to squeak through. Just prior to that, we had measured the interval between 1st and 17th position. This was at lap 149. The difference between 1st to 17th was 1 7/10 seconds. That's hardly the bat of an eyelash, and this will be the last pit stop. This should bring them home.
Yep.
No problem at all.
There might have been one or two that had thoughts of going all the way from there on, but let's go back to the pits now, and Mike Joy.
Race leader and defending Die Hard 500 champ Dale Earnhardt comes in. He's going to get one of those a cold drink there, and they're trying to hand him one of those bandanas as well. So Earnhardt will take on at least the right side tires. He's well out from the pit wall, so he may get 4 here. John Malloy brings the tires around, and it's going to be just 2. Earnhardt's away. Good quick stop as usual.
That team just doesn't miss.
No, they're right there every time, no question about it.
All right, getting them sorted out as they come back out from this stop at lap 152. Among the runners who have been most impressive here, Buddy Baker. Remember his last win, July 4th, 1983 at Daytona. He has run as high as 7th in that last group. Here's Mike Joy.
See how Darrell Waltrip's car is parked right out against the line. Now that's legal, but it caused quite a problem for Martin Martin, because Martin had to wait and then swerve way out to get along pit lane and out of his pit stall there. And there were just a word or two between the crew chiefs there along the pit lane. Steve Emile still standing out in the road there. Steve, was Mark able to get out okay, or things get a little close here?
He hit Darrell as they left, but they wasn't running fast enough to hurt anything. I figured he probably hit people harder than that on the racetrack. But we hate it. You know, we just got gas, and these guys were coming in a little late. We only sat here for 4 seconds of fuel, so we're in good shape. We need to get back toward the front. I don't think there's any front end damage.
Okay, gas only for Mark Martin. Let's go to Neil.
Mike, I was up here talking to a lot of these lead cars, and this caution was a blessing for some, and it really cost the others. Davey and his guys and a bunch of lead cars, they were about 8 laps out of their window. They were going to have to make an extra stop. Ned, you guessed it and hit it on the nail. The 1 car and the 75 were going to be able to go the distance. And when that caution came out, I was in the 1 pits and I was in dangerous territory because they were throwing stuff everywhere. They thought they could make it the rest of the way.
And the 75, Joe Rutten was taking that gamble too. Well, so after the sort out, there you see it. That's the man they've got to deal with, Earnhardt for sure. More from the Die Hard 500 in a moment.
Nothing beats a winning team. Pushing hard, reaching for that dream. Nothing beats clean, crisp and cold. Got the king of beers, you're on a roll. Nothing beats our best Budweiser. Nothing beats a Bud. When the races run, we'll be number 1. Nothing beats a Bud. I feel good.
Caught ya! You guys aren't supposed to be in here.
Hey, no problem, Honorable Dojo guy.
This is an import car.
Hi, we're the Autolites. Guaranteed in any language. Feel good.
Imports too?
Yeah, 2 years, no matter how far we go.
But I...
Oh, sorry. Hey,
But...
so sayonara. Hey, I feel good.
Okay.
I knew that I would not.
The driver of this car adds something special to his motor oil. So does the driver of this car. They both use STP oil treatment for drivers on a racetrack or drivers on a fast track. STP.
The same battery that has started 9 out of 10 Die Hard 500 winners since 1977 also starts millions of cars like yours every day. Die Hard. More power when you need it most.
Fact. Ford offers performance that's supercharged and turbocharged. Fact. Ford offers 16, even 24-valve engines. Fact. Mustang GT, Pro GT, Thunderbird SC, Escort GT, and Taurus SHO make up the best-selling line of performance cars, American or import. Call it leadership. Call it winning. The simple fact is, Ford is number 1. Save now during Ford's leadership celebration.
We're back with you at Talladega, Alabama. 154 of 188 laps have been complete, 409 miles, and there you see the official retirees from the event. Wally Dallenbach brought out the first caution of the day. Ken Schrader had a motor go down on him. Harry Gant was in a wreck that's knocked the front end off car number 33. Rick Wilson, Jimmy Spencer, Lake Speed were all caught up in a crash at about the same time. Derek Cope's car is retired with an oil leak. Brett Bodine has officially gone out, and we expect that 2 more names will be added to that list, but they're having a problem getting them down off the wall. In the past 5 seconds, they've just moved Hut Strickland's car, and now here comes the number 11, and you really have to be careful up here on this bank.
Oh, you can. They couldn't send a wrecker up there to get those cars, Ken. They had to get the cars down so they could get them to a wrecker. There have been wreckers that have turned over off of this bank. You can see the weight. A wrecker has so much weight up on him that it'll just topple over from up there, and so they had to get the cars down there so it could come to them.
It'll topple a pace car or a pickup truck if you're not careful out here and run too slowly around these 33-degree banks. More from Talladega in a moment.
One manufacturer has more NASCAR victories than anyone. More NHRA Pro Stock victories than anyone. More consecutive IMSA GTO victories at Daytona than anyone. And more off-road victories in the last 5 years than anyone. That manufacturer is Ford. No wonder nobody enjoys the weekend like Ford.
It's my family. I want tires I can trust.
25 years ago, Sears introduced Michelin Road Handlers to America.
I really do have a lot riding on my tires.
And today, Sears introduces new Michelin Road Handlers.
I'm not going to buy just any tires.
With advanced road handling tread and a 60,000-mile warranty coast to coast. Michelin Road Handlers, the tires America trusts at the store America trusts.
Who's going to back you better than Sears?
When you buy Valvoline motor oil, you get quality, high performance, protection, and now, for a limited time only, great taste. It's Valvoline's 125th birthday. And right now, when you buy 12 quarts of Valvoline and buy 12 cans of any Coca-Cola product, we'll pay for the Coca-Cola product. People who know use Valvoline. With other motor oils, you just won't get the great taste of Coca-Cola Classic.
The same battery that has started 9 out of 10 Die-Hard 500 winners since 1977 also starts millions of cars like yours every day. Die-Hard, more power when you need it most.
It's the Craftsman Anniversary Celebration, where this 85-piece mechanics tool set, guaranteed forever, is only $59.99. And this 19-drawer professional chest and cabinet is an exceptional value. So hurry to Sears.
Ozzie Smith may not be flipping as much as he used to, but the Wizard can still pick it with the glove. The 11-time Gold Glove winner, who is 7th in National League in hitting, leads the third-place Cardinals against the Eastern Division leading Pirates, hoping to pick up some ground. Other viewers will see the American League East leading Toronto Blue Jays and the Boston Red Sox. Major League Baseball next Saturday on CBS Sports. In Major League Motorsports, it's Talladega, Alabama. It's late in the going. 155 laps complete of the 188, and Dale Jarrett from 40th position has brought the Wood Brothers colors into the lead. That is some run that he has had, even with those stops, making the ground sometimes under these flags. Beginning of the race, it was doubtful he was even going to be around for 5 laps today.
Yeah, they reported an oil leak at the start of the race, and then starting back and forth, reported that they had changed the engine 5 times trying to get more speed out of the Ford, but they just couldn't seem to get things going. But hey, the car apparently drafts well. He stayed up in the lead lap all day and drafted and then made a super pit stop.
And the big story is that Dale Jarrett next year goes to work under the tutelage of the coach of the Washington Redskins. That ought to be some move for that team. Jimmy Makar, your son-in-law and your son. You met Joe Gibbs here at this track in May down here for the Winston 500, and you didn't really take that too seriously about him bringing a team out.
Well, I was introduced to him by Jimmy Johnson of the Hendrick Motorsports organization, and Jimmy did say that Joe Gibbs was going to form a Winston Cup team. But I didn't think, certainly didn't think that Dale Jarrett would be involved in the thing at that time. Had no reason to doubt what he was going to form the team, but just didn't think that much about it. Then things began to happen.
But you have no doubt about how serious Gibbs is for next year.
Oh, he is very serious, no question about it. He is very serious about putting together an absolute first-class team, and of course, the Jarrett clan is happy that he chose Dale as the driver and Jimmy Makar as the crew chief.
And of course, that's Chevrolet, which they'll be running. For more on that story, let's go to Mike Joy.
Well, the Wood Brothers have had cars here in Victory Lane at Talladega with drivers like Arneil Bonnet and David Pearson behind the wheel. And well, Leonard Wood, you started 40th this morning on maybe a wing and a prayer to get to the front. And my gosh, here you are. And Dale has brought that thing all the way to the front. I might add with some good pit work from you folks.
Well, he's done a real good job today, and stayed after it. And we was really going to try to go for it all the way anyway. And of course, then we come in and got a little extra fuel, so it should be able to make it for sure now. But we was going to try for it anyway.
Is he running well enough to stay out there and win this thing?
I don't know. When he came off that bank, and he seemed to be running better before he came off that bank and then bent the front spoiler up, and he seemed to be pushing a little bit, and it kind of pushing out on him a little bit and can't stay down to the inside like he'd like to.
Let's see how he fares when they drop the green flag and get this restarted.
Well, we were mentioning that Joe Gibbs, the head coach of the Redskins, has recently formed a new racing team for NASCAR next year. But how will he be able to split his time between the football field and the racetracks?
Well, I'm switching roles here. I'll be an owner. And so basically I'm going to try and hire the people that can do the job. And we got a fantastic team, I think, put together. Dale Jarrett to drive, and getting Jimmy Makar that was unbelievable to get a chance to get a crew chief like that who will actually be the coach of this outfit. And I got other good people working on it, so really I'm just going to try and help pick the people, and I feel like then we're going to be successful.
There's Bill Elliott on the track in the car number 9. He's been running up front all day long. He's had a tough year. His a divorce, a crewman killed in Atlanta, then his grandmother and his mother dying, and now just this week it was announced that his sponsor of so long, Coors Beer, is going to leave, and that means that that team will be without the finances to go next year unless they get a replacement sponsor. And that has triggered rumors that Bill Elliott may move over to Junior Johnson's team, and that, of course, has got to be concerned to either Jeff Bodine or Sterling Marlin. So Bill Elliott has had a tough year right now, and now he's got to wonder about 1992.
Chris, I believe that he is going to go with Junior Johnson next year, and I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere along the road you wouldn't see a V6 program from Ford, and that Bill Elliott might be deeply involved with that, and Ernie, who always liked those V6s, might get a crack at it. We got to get to Neil Bonnet for a moment.
Yeah, we're here with Mike Beam, his crew chief on Sterling Marlin's car. Y'all put some tires on along with Davey Allison. You're back in the pack a little bit, and I see you talking with Davey's crew. What's the game plan?
Well, we're going to try to hook up the 28 car, the 9 car, you know, and see if we can get up front, because the other day in the draft, that combination worked fairly well for us, you know, and we got a little bit behind. We got hung out to dry there because I don't think nobody really wants to draft with us that much, you know, at first, especially those Chevrolets, you know, and so they hung him out to dry, and he got kind of mad. He's pretty mad right now, so I think he's going to get with it.
I'll tell you what, these manufacturers battling all the time, and we're fixing to see the Fords jump on the Chevrolet and see who wins this thing.
And you have 6 drivers in that lead pack who have never won a race. Jarrett, Michael Waltrip, Rick Mast, Sterling, we were just talking about, Chad Little, Joe Ruttman. This is going to be some finish. We have 188 laps complete as we get ready to go. When I talk about that V6 program, of course, we're mentioning NASCAR Grand National, which has really taken on a new life of its own in 1991.
Well, it really is. And Ford is a little behind on the development of their V6 program. And Ernie Elliott certainly has had a strong interest in that in the past. He has done some development work on it. Wouldn't surprise a lot of people to see maybe him get into that. But, you know, that's pure speculation. But speculation's about to come to an end here for the green flags waving. We'll see how long Dale Jarrett can stay out front.
Right you are as they come to the stripe. Here's Alan Kowicki on the bottom, still trying to get that lap back. And it looks like that car wiggled the number 7 for just a moment as it came down that short straightaway into the banking. Here comes number 2, Rusty Wallace, trying to find the hole. Number 7 has made up the lap, and Wallace wants to take it all the way right here. And here's Mr. Earnhardt, number 3, barreling along on the bottom, bombarding down that backstretch, the number 3. But look at this shuffle as they go to turn 3. Michael Waltrip making a great move. He circles around to the outside, shot right through the eye of the needle. He pulls up on the high side and tries to stay with Earnhardt. Earnhardt had nothing to do with it. Draws him away by a car length.
Well, that'll help Dale Jarrett a little bit. They had him floater on the outside there, hung out, running by himself. But when some of them got in front of him and opened up and got out there, that helped him a little bit. Now they're 3 abreast coming through here again.
Look at this struggle. Wallace, for the first time today, goes out in front big time, and Mark Martin looks like he's off the pace. Car number 6 slowing up. He was back in 16th on the restart, and he has a flat right rear tire. And that's going to be the end of the story on Mark Martin for the lead as things shuffle down the backstretch. Wallace first. Of course, he got a caution here. That would help Martin. Look at this traffic jam.
The way they're running, they could get a caution awful easy, but we've seen that kind of racing all day long. So
it is a traffic jam at 190 miles per hour. Everyone trying to park in the same place. Victory Lane. 160 of 188 laps complete, and Davey Allison leans on Rick Mast. Well, I think this is the finish we've been waiting for all those years, Matt. Right now, unless Earnhardt and Wallace can get hitched up and pull away from this thing, there is going to be some kind of scramble to decide this 23rd annual Die Hard 500.
Well, no doubt about it, but Ricky Rudd is the man now that would like to hook up with Earnhardt and try to pull away, and Michael Waltrip doing a good job sitting there in 3rd place. They're all really jockeying for position there now, trying to get themselves in position that they can pull away from anybody behind them.
Michael Waltrip just getting better and better. Had that terrible crash in Bristol, Tennessee. Just destroyed an automobile, came right back, and here comes the number 6, making up time, trying to get back into this thing, but it's from a ways back.
Well, I tell you, he doesn't have a flat tire there now, the way he's running. He just sort of got off to a slow start. Mark Martin's going to be a factor in this thing before it's over.
I think that report was on the tail end of when they got ready to start, that he had to go all the way to the back.
Okay.
And then he is way out back because he didn't catch the field as they came down to the flag.
Okay. And we understand that he could possibly only have high gears, which would really hurt him on a restart. But he's coming back. He's caught the draft now. That's Mark Martin, but Earnhardt is leading the draft up front.
And look at Wallace fall back to fourth. Bobby Hillin Jr., 86 winner, big upset. He's fifth, right behind the number 7 of Kawicki. Felix Sabetas, who has really become a power in Winston Cup racing, put together a strong team with Gary Nelson and Kyle Petty as the driver, and they came out determined. Then Kyle, in a savage crash, broke a leg, and there have been 2 or 3 drivers to get the opportunity to run this car. Bobby Hillin has meant a lot to, because it's pushed him way up in the points as he continues to search for a regular ride in 1992.
Here's Mark Martin coming up. Chad Little down on the inside, and Martin moves around the car 75 of Joe Ruttman. Found that bottom groove, really working for him.
Ruttman in 13th position. Baker right there in 14th as Martin tries to move through. Now you see 6 cars drawing away by about 20 car lengths with 164 laps complete. Chris?
Sitting here with Jeff Bodine watching the race. Jeff, it's a tough break you had up there. What led you and Hutch Strickland into the wall?
Well, first I need to say hello to Kathy. She's back home watching. I'm okay. Barry's up in the suite. I'm okay, everybody. No, Hutch just thought there was a gap between Sterling and myself going down that straightaway under the start-finish line, and there wasn't. He came over, and I had my nose up to his quarter panel right rear tire, and we touched. And of course, that turned both of us into the wall.
You look okay, Jeff. You know, there's rumors that Bill Elliott may go to the Junior Johnson team next year, and you drive for the Junior Johnson. Can you comment on that?
Well, if he does, I'll go to the Bill Elliott team. He's running pretty strong out there. It wouldn't be that bad a deal, but I don't think there's anything to it. So, you know, rumors. You've been in the middle of some rumors before, haven't you, Chris? I heard you and some other women were messing around one time.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that's pretty good. Other women, huh? Listen, Jeff, you see the scoreboard? Which one of those guys is going to come home first?
Boy, you know, I can't tell you. 3, 5, 30, 2. All those guys are running good. You know, we see Davey Allison trying to get back to the front. Darrell Waltrip helping him there. Mark Martin's coming back up through. Any of those guys really do have a chance at winning if they can just get in the right position. That's all they're trying to do right now, just get in that right position for the last couple laps.
If you were in there, who were you worried about the most?
I was worried about them all. They're all tough. I was having...
And here's trouble on the front straightaway. Big time trouble. It's Rick Mast on his roof.
Upside down. Rick Mast skating into the infield.
Right across by the start-finish line, directly in front of us, Rick Mast. Getting in the wall, the tri-oval area. He has slid about 1,000 feet. And the car coming to rest directly below us.
And fortunately, Ken, that car didn't keep running. Didn't keep tumbling up in the air. We hope and pray that Rick is okay, but I would venture to say that the chances are better because it didn't start flipping.
Rick Mast had been in 11th position when this incident took place.
Okay, there's Buddy Baker down on the inside of him, and Buddy touches him. Buddy Baker does indeed touch Rick Mast, gets him sideways. There's Mark Martin right behind him. And you see when he comes down off of that banking, the air gets under it. That left a big space there that the air could get under it, flip him up on the roof. There's Joe Ruttman coming up on him. He slides up to the high side of the racetrack on his roof, touches the outside wall, slams into there, and Rick, he said, where am I? He's got to wonder where in the world he is. And then he just slides all the way down the track for several hundred yards. And the safety crew is there with him now as we see his car continue to slide down off of the racetrack. Fortunately, everybody else got by, did not hit him.
This incident taking place at lap 165, with 23 laps to go. Rick Mast, a contender to win it all, comes up in a serious incident as he and Buddy Baker tangled on the 18-degree tri-oval here at Talladega, Alabama, and he's coming out of the car.
He's coming out of the car. There he is. All right, boy, that is always good news. He waves to the crowd. I'll tell you, that had to be a scary ride.
Look again.
They're heading through the trioval. And Buddy Baker, the red car, tries to move by on the inside, and he touches Rick just enough to get him sideways. And then when the front wheels got down on the flat part, the rear wheels were up on the banking. That's 18 degrees of banking through there. That opened up a lot of air under that car, and it just picked it up, sent it on its roof. And he slides for a long way down the racetrack. He has to wonder, when in the world is this thing going to stop, and is anything going to hit me? A little bit woozy. Car still on its roof. The safety workers there, they were there immediately as soon as the car stopped sliding on the roof, and here he comes. Rick's a pretty good sized fella, doesn't have a lot of room to crawl out from under there, but I'll tell you, a great sight to see him crawling out from under there.
He's climbed out from beneath a lot of them on a lot of tracks, but never, I believe, at that speed.
No, sir. I'll tell you, that's had to be some kind of a sensation.
You've been there.
Well, fortunately, I never got a Winston Cup car on his roof while I was driving. I was very fortunate in that respect. A lot of sportsman-type cars, yes.
Chris?
Well, you know, this has got to be a big disappointment to the NASCAR officials. They've done a lot of work aerodynamically on these cars. They extended the roof rail over the rear glass, and they put side spoilers on the trunk, and on the left side of the car, they put the panel that's now on the lower right, feeling that this would keep the car on the ground in that kind of a situation, to try and keep the air out from under the car. And it obviously did. You could see the car was playing airplane there as it got upside down. Now, what NASCAR will do now with its aerodynamic changes, who knows?
Chris, I don't think you could have done much. I mean, part of the car was on the apron, part was on the 18-degree bank. There's no way.
Let's watch it again. You're right. This is a particular set of circumstances here. We see them coming out through the trioval here, and then Buddy Baker runs up there and taps Rick Mast right there, gets him sideways, and then we're going to see when he gets down and his front wheels get down on the flat part of the track, there's like a foot of air space there. Right in that area there. See, the spoiler, the front spoiler is down on the racetrack. That would have a lifting effect itself. And then all of that airspace under there, just let it pick it up. And really, they have done a great job of the rules and trying to keep them on the ground. But you get in a particular situation of this sort.
That's 3,500 pounds going up there.
Yeah, I just don't know how you could guard against something like that.
Well, it's a problem that has to be solved.
You know, the remarkable thing, the blessing here is that it didn't start to tumble. And sometimes you don't mind seeing them tumble rather than a direct head-on stop.
Absolutely.
But in this case, I think it bent those front roll bars down enough. You can see how that windshield got thrust back. And that's what created this long slide. Remember, they had one of these in an IROC race at Daytona, and it slid forever. Driver came out unscathed. Here's Mike.
Ken, watching that one from pit road, and as scary as it looked, I think that the rules and the aerodynamic de-hancements really did their job. The car did not get up on its nose and fly as Bobby, or tumble or twirl as Bobby Allison's did here a few years ago. Once it got up and over and pancaked on its roof, it stayed there and didn't come back up and over. So I think all the work they've done in the wind tunnel has really come to some good use. You couldn't keep the car from going, but it certainly settled soon and didn't go for a long while tumble.
Very good point, Mike. Very good point. As they begin to pull it away, you can see the front part of the roof has been worn out, really, as it slid down the pavement and caved in a little bit there. But thank goodness Rick Mast crawled out of the car. They have taken him to the infield care center just to check him over.
Glad to see him okay. A frustrating day for people like Bob Johnson and Claude Queen, Richard Jackson, who worked so hard to bring that car up into the lead pack early in the day.
CBS Sports Special, the Die Hard 500, has been sponsored by Budweiser. With that clean, crisp, cold taste, nothing beats a Bud. First Brands Corporation, makers of STP oil treatment. And by the Die Hard battery, now with more power when you need it most.
Here's the situation in the final round of the Cannon Greater Hartford Open. Corey Pavin and Rick Fair tied for the lead at 9 under. Dan Pole is...
Thank you. 18 laps remain here at Talladega, Alabama to decide the 23rd annual Die Hard 500. The latest incident of the day, the 6th caution period created when Buddy Baker tagged the Rick Mast car number 1 in the tri-oval and sent it upside down into the wall at over 190 miles per hour. Rick Mast is fine. He has left the infield care center already. Let's go quickly to Mike Joy.
Ken, I'm with Richard Childress, who owns Dale Earnhardt's car, standing much as we did last year, about 18 laps away from what last year was a trip to victory lane. Now, on most of the caution flags all day, you'd come in and make a stop, and I'm sure this time if you did, most of the field would, but you're staying out.
Yeah, you know, we've got enough gas. Tires is good. The car's working good. We just looks like at 9 and 22's running awful good. We just have to race. You know, Michael's running good. Ricky. It's going to be a good race to the finish.
Well, will this be a Ford-Chevy shootout? Do you expect they'll hook up? Maybe you and Ricky would hook up?
Well, we're just all going to get together. I'm sure once they get to dicing around, it could be anybody's race from this point. I know Dale will do his job.
Well, one thing that it's looked obvious, at least from down here, is the place to be today has been out front.
It is. You know, you get hung back in that traffic and anything can happen. And, you know, we've tried to keep, you know, our thing is try to keep that track position, keep Dale out of trouble. If he's up front, he's usually out of trouble.
Well, he's out front now, so it's his race to control for the moment.
As we get set to go, Mike, that leaderboard looks like a Chevy Pontiac story. Those Fords are not up in those top positions, not until 5th. There you see Earnhardt Chevrolet in 1st, followed by Ricky Rudd, then the Pontiac of Michael Waltrip, followed by Rusty Wallace in his Pontiac. Then comes Sterling Marlin, and that is the 5th position car. Back to 6th, another Ford, Bill Elliott, followed by Bobby Hillen, who's having a great day. In 8th, Davey Allison. Then 9th is Waltrip, and 10th is Shepard. As we get set to turn them loose here in just a matter of moments. Here's your leader. There are still, at this time, in that lead lap, 15 automobiles. And that last 5, Ned, you see in the 10th spot right now, Darrell Waltrip. The 11th spot is Buddy Baker. The 12th spot is Mark Martin, who is really coming on. Then in the 13th spot is Joe Ruttman. 14th is Chad Little. And on the shakeout, getting ready to go, Dale Jarrett is back in 15th. Those are all in the lead lap. 1 lap down in 16th is the Alan Kowicki car.
Yeah, he's been the car that has been up front as far as those that are 1 lap down. He is in 16th place. Larry Pearson having a great run here today in 17th place. We certainly want to pass along our condolences to Larry and his entire family. David Pearson's wife Helen passed away a couple of weeks ago. Of course, David, a former winner here at Talladega, and they've gone through some trauma in the last couple of weeks. In fact, Frank Johnson, the bus driver for Larry Pearson's team, was ready to leave to come to Talladega this week, and he passed away. And then today, Larry Hedrick is the owner of that team, and his mother-in-law, Ethel Goforth, had to go in the hospital for a hip replacement. So they've had a lot of things happen in that team. We get the signal now for 1 more lap to go.
Larry Pearson having a good run again, staying 1 lap down as we get set to go. Richard Petty, another famous name, is in 18th. Here's a thought from more. We got an interview with a guy that just brought out this caution flag. Let's go to Chris Economaki.
Hey, Rick, what was the view like under there?
I'll tell everybody back home I'm fine. I'm fine. Rick will be home after a while.
Here we go. Tell us what happened.
Buddy and I got together. Just one of those deals, you know, and the car got sideways. And to tell you the truth, I didn't stop before I realized what had happened. Yeah, there we are. We just, you know, it's one of those deals. We just kind of got together. The air got under the car, lifted it up, set it back down. I'm thinking, well, hope I don't start barrel rolling too many times. And then I think, well, hope nobody hits me. Yeah, that's the most vulnerable part. I see Joe did a good job. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, a little scarier out here looking at it, isn't it?
Rick, did you know that was the wall that you hit?
No, I didn't know what I hit, Ned. All I seen was sparks and oil. And
your eyes closed there?
You know, I closed them at first. I said, no, I want to see what this is. So I opened them back up, and I seen sparks and stuff, and I closed them back. I don't want to see any more. And then once it stopped, I was waiting, hoping nobody would hit me, and then just basically getting out of the car.
By your count, Rick Mast, how long did that take?
Well, getting out of the car, it seemed like, I'd say I was in there about, what, 2.5 hours, Ken? The wreck.
What about the roll cage? It looked like the front roll bar came down a little bit.
Yeah, the one right above my head did collapse, but, you know, they're made to give something. They're made to absorb energy and absorb impact.
Get your helmet banged up?
I think it's got a little neck on it, but this hard hit. It's hard to hurt my head. I'm so hard-headed. That's why Sko hired me.
Okay, thanks so much for coming by, Rick. Better luck next time.
Coming down to complete 173 laps. Ready to go green. 15 cars in the lead lap as they come to line. 16 laps to go.
This
Earnhardt first, Rudd second, Michael Waltrip third, Rusty Wallace fourth, Marlin in fifth as they scoot into turn number 1.
It's not a Saturday night shootout. It's a Sunday afternoon shootout at the fastest track in the world, the Talladega Superspeedway.
Here comes Martin, still getting it.
He's on the move.
Around the lap car, Richard Petty back in 18th. Sachs on the charge, and look at Martin fly.
He chose to go the inside while Buddy Baker went on the outside, and there was room down on the inside. Martin just kept getting it.
Baker coming with him, and Rutman.
Well, Baker lost that position, chose to go behind Greg Sachs. That was not the tip. Rutman got by him as well. There's Dale Jarrett right behind Buddy Baker. And Mark Martin still on the move. Moves around the lap car of Alan Kowicki. Now he has caught the lead draft.
Well, that's some comeback by Martin.
Yeah, he had made a late pit stop on the last caution and couldn't get up to speed real early and had to run him down, but he's doing a good job of it.
The rumor is he may only have high gear in that thing, but that's sure what he needs right now, and he's pulling the right gear.
Yeah, we speculated that might have been the case on the last restart, but I don't think so now, Ken. I believe he got off to a good start on this restart, so apparently he had all the gears.
Up in front, as you watch number 6, go back to number 6 for a moment. Here is Mark Martin closing, trying to move around Morgan Shepherd's number 15. That would be for 10th. Don't forget the Greater Hartford Open, the Canon Greater Hartford Open, next on CBS this afternoon. 175 complete. These are the cars battling for the lead. Waltrip in the 17 seems to have found new life out here. He is shown an 8th.
Yep, he had floundered around back at the back of the lead draft and just out of harm's way of everything that was going on. And all of a sudden, when the chips are down, Waltrip is up in there.
Davey Allison in the 7th position, just in front of him in 6, Bill Elliott. Now he's dropping back 2 or 3 more positions. Up in front, Earnhardt in front, Rudd in 2nd. And here to the outside goes car number 30, and there's no place to go. We'll take a commercial break here and then be with you right to the finish of the 23rd annual Die Hard 500.
When you train for the U.S. Olympic team, state-of-the-art becomes standard. With standard equipment like this. And Nuprin. This state-of-the-art equipment helps improve technique and muscle strength. And when pain strikes, Nuprin stops that pain where it hurts. Nuprin works right at the site of pain, right where you hurt. Nuprin, standard equipment of the 1992 U.S. Olympic team.
This bench gets a professional finish with Krylon spray paint. No runs, no drips, no errors. Dries to the touch in minutes. The other brand's still tacky. Wow! What a game!
Who gave us the euchre?
He's a lot tougher than he looks. For a fast, smooth, professional finish, get Krylon.
First, toothpaste came in tubes, then in unsqueezable pumps. Now, there's Neat Squeeze from Crest. Squeezes easily like a tube with the control of a pump and a pullback feature that makes brushing a lot less messy and a lot more fun. The new Neat Squeeze from Crest.
They ate the same lunch, got the same heartburn, but his antacid is very different. His Tums has calcium. Most antacids don't. Regular Rolaids uses an aluminum salt. This uses aluminum and magnesium. So does this. Of all these, only Tums helps wipe out heartburn and gives you calcium you need every day.
Something my body needs anyway. I like that.
Calcium-rich Tums. That's the one you want.
There are 10 laps to go. The field has remained stable, with the exception of Buddy Baker slowing down in the past few moments. Everybody else is just running nose to tail, getting ready, preparing for the finish of the Die Hard 500. Up in front, Earnhardt is in the lead, Rudd is in second. Michael Waltrip's number 30 is right there. Rusty Wallace, Sterling Marlin, Davey Allison, Bill Elliott, Darrell Waltrip, all gathered together to decide this race. And there's a piece of debris out there.
There is on the backstretch.
Let's go to Neil Bonnet. Yellow is coming out.
Again, this yellow is probably going to throw a different complexion in it, but I was talking to these crews about strategy and everything, and they're leaving it up to the drivers. And I think think what you're going to see when we're in this big single file, any one of them is afraid to make a move. The only guy that can make the move is one that's in the rear that doesn't have a price to pay. I felt like what would happen, one guy make a move, then everyone else react. Once one guy makes that move, I think everybody will react at one time. Chris, we'll get in there and see what yours thinks in on it.
Well, just a few moments ago, Mark Martin came by, went down on the apron to improve himself by about 4 or 5 positions. Whatever was wrong with his car has suddenly healed up. I think he is going to be a real threat if there's enough laps left.
He has really turned it on in the last 15 laps. Just about counted out. He had a tire go down. He had to catch up with the field, and he's run him down, and this caution's going to put him right back in it to win. Picking up a couple of pieces of debris on the backside of the racetrack, and then it will be business as usual. A typical Talladega finish is assured. To Mike Joy with Waddell Wilson.
He's talking to his driver, Ricky Rudd, getting set to run this one down. Waddell has long been the horsepower king here at Talladega. There are enough suds left in that Chevrolet for Ricky to get Dale.
Well, we're sitting in a good spot. Ricky and I have talked about it, and, you know, we want to stay right there behind Earnhardt to the last lap. Then we've talked about, you know, the right place to pull out. Running fast enough, it's going to be hard for one-on-one to go. But if he does it like I've seen him do it in the past, we got a shot at him. But, you know, hopefully we can still stay second right to the end. And then we can pull out.
They're hoping that the video